Unexpectedly discovered he has a 15-year-old son after accepting a date. Just say this isn't what you were looking for after all and cancel it. No harm done. I'm feeling the same. I always wonder what else they haven't mentioned. If I were you, I would end it. If the kid was younger than 13, I'd be more understanding. But they're 15. They'll either be at their friend's house or in their room doing their own thing. At 15 years old, the dynamic is so vastly different from other ages that it makes sense why it was an afterthought. I wouldn't see him anymore just because I think if you have kids that should be the first thing you tell someone. I have a daughter, but she's 25 and that's not something I would ever hide. I think it's a red flag he didn't tell you about his son. Cancel if you want to, but his 15-year-old is going to be an adult and moved out of home before you even get to the walk down the aisle stage. It's more of a concern that he's already had a child and may not be so keen to have any more, especially again at 35. He's done all the parenting, now he wants to live his 20 that he missed out on. If it makes you feel uneasy, just tell him straight up how you feel. Tell him you wish he was more upfront about it and had it in his profile and not looking to go out with someone who has a kid that's at a certain age or something like they. This happened to me recently too, where I felt it was kind of hidden. I ended up not pursuing. Just cancel and follow your gut. You will feel better and forget about it in no time. If he wasn't upfront at the beginning about his child, then he was clearly hiding it. I had that same experience with a girl who I met for a coffee date. She brought the child with her and told me it was hers. When I asked why didn't she tell me that beforehand, she said it would have limited her options on going out, since when she mentioned she has kids they all stopped talking to her or said they weren't interested. That's a flag for me. I'd cancel. I don't like when people withhold information, but I also realize it can be hard for single parents in the dating scene. If it's something you think you can work through with an open conversation, give it a try. However, if you feel like this is a deal breaker, you should call it off instead of forcing yourself to go through with the date or settling for something you know you don't want. Not everyone will mention kids on their profile, as then their profile can become a target for child predators. They mentioned it to you after you've been talking, but if that makes you not compatible, that makes you not compatible. I very rarely will agree to date anyone with kids, and I always accept that when I am dating a parent, that even if the kid spends most of the time with the other parent, that could change in an instant, and I would need to be a reliable adult in the household, so their parent whom I dating won't be with them 24/7. If you're not willing to be with a parent, and by extension having to be at least at times the responsible adult in the room who needs to make sure that room is appropriate safe for a minor, then wish this guy well and part ways. Look, it was just a date. I'm a single dad of 2 daughters. I won't post that online. The date is where you disclose it. I could see him hiding it, since usually when you see has kids on a profile, you picture a person with a huge responsibility who's rarely free and constantly has to put their child in front of you. At the age of his son, especially if the mother has joint custody, he may almost have the freedom of a non-parent at this point. He told you because he didn't want to hide it, but would you have even talked to him if his kids was on his profile at the start? I'm not generally into the whole kid thing, but 15 is pretty much the home stretch. I generally avoid dating people with kids, but 15 I almost don't even consider them having one. If I was in your shoes and I was into the person, I wouldn't give up. My youngest child is 15 and I have just started dating because my kids are independent and self-sufficient for me to be able to go out. So guys, having kids is bad? Newsflash, guys around your age or older are going to have kids. Then I guess parenting isn't for everyone, especially those who don't want to grow up and do adult things. As a father with a controlling significant other, that he has the kid with may not want him to mention or post pictures of his kids or child on any platforms, then may potentially use anything like that against him in a court of law, even if she just said no, and he did it anyway. This is a fear I have, as I'm probably in the same situation as that dude you're talking to at 38 with 2 kids with someone who's almost 10 years younger than me, who thinks they can do whatever they want, but still have control over anything I do. Maybe try to figure out what the baggage is before you decide to get on the plane. I don't mention my children on dating sites because I'm not dating to have a family. Has he indicated he's looking for something serious?